I made a jacket that is functional, meaning it's warm, it's water resistant, it's got nice pockets, it's got a hood. It's everything I wanted in a fall spring jacket, and I love it. Today's video is all about the Andes jacket by Itch to Stitch. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Izzy, and this channel is all about sewing, mainly garment, but I do, sew some bags and some quilts once in a while. Today's video is all about a make that I've been working on for what feels like forever. It really hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been that long. But oh my goodness, was it worth it? But before I get into it, and also I finished right in time because it has gotten cooler in Montreal. There's been rain this week, so I'm gonna put this one on to go to work tomorrow. So it'll be getting its first outing in the rain for real tomorrow. All right, so let's talk about the pattern before I jump into my review of it. I also want to touch on what it was really like to sew with soft shell fabric, which is what I used for this jacket, and what this pattern is really designed for. So, all right, the pattern is, let me get my notes. All right, this pattern was designed by Itch to Stitch, like I said before, and let me read to you the brief description. So this is a versatile and stylish high thigh length jacket designed to elevate your outerwear game. Crafted especially for fleece-backed soft shell fabric, this pattern showcases intriguing seam details for subtle shaping and visual interest. The Andes jacket boasts a lined hood, unlined body, striking the ideal balance between warmth and breathability. With softshell fabric's exceptional water-resistant properties, this jacket is your ideal companion in drizzly or rainy weather, promising not just protection, but also a touch of elegance for any season. So that is the overall description. Now, in terms of its features, it's got, like it said, a lined hood, and my mannequin is actually wearing it. Now, my mannequin is not quite the same size as me, so this looks really big on her, but yeah, it's just a little big on me. So it's got the lined hood. I used some scraps, some rayon fabric to line my hood. It's got a full zipped front. It's got some beautiful princess seams, which are top stitch. Hopefully you'll be able to see, or Marianne can zoom in when she's doing the editing. They're top stitching everywhere. It's got zipper pockets on both sides. It's got a two-piece sleeve, which is really interesting. And yeah, the back is in a few parts actually. So you've got the upper back here, you've got the lower back, and then you've got the sides, obviously. So the princess seams get repeated on the back. I love that the hood is a three-piece hood. I like the shape of those a lot better. I could have added some grommets for a drawstring. I don't like those. I very rarely wear the hood on my jackets, and when I do, it's for just a minute, so from the car to the door, that kind of thing. So did not put the drawstring on my jacket. So there you go. So those are the main features. Now, in terms of sizing, it's offered in the full Itch to Stitch size range, so up to a 40. And it's got bust cups, so you have up to a double D sizing, or bust cup for sewing bust cup is what I meant to say. So yeah, those are the features in a nutshell. Very, very cool jacket. I love this. All right, let's talk about the fabric. So this is, like I said, soft shell. It is lined with some fleece here, which makes it ultra cozy and a lot more, like a lot warmer than a lot of like fall, like lightweight jackets out there or for spring, which is amazing. I mean, I tried it on a few times while I was sewing it, and I very quickly got very warm down here, so it'll be perfect. This soft shell I got at Core Fabrics here in Montreal. They have it in 2 or 3 colors, and they still have it in stock. And I believe, I'm not sure when you're watching this if it's still going to be on sale, but right now as I'm filming, it's on sale. So I'm going to put a link to it because they have this beautiful sage green, which is very trendy at the moment, and they have a gorgeous purple. So if you're a fan of purple, Core Fabrics have that color in purple. I think they have a third color, but I can't remember what it is now. In terms of tips for sewing this, I did a little bit of research beforehand to know, you know, what needle should I use? Do I need to use a special presser foot? You know, all that kind of thing. And my research basically said just use a Microtex needle. I used clips, so like Wonder clips instead of pins for most of this. And yeah, the Microtex needle had no issues whatsoever going through, at some points, very bulky seams. So when you're finishing the facing here and attaching it to the zipper, this seam here is very, very bulky. Same thing for some of the pocket seams. They can get pretty bulky. So Microtex needle for the win. No issues whatsoever. Also, I asked in my Friday Sews video about sewing through the plastic bit at the bottom. So the separating zipper has like plastic coating at the bottom, and I was really worried about sewing through that, and this Microtex needle just, yeah, no problem whatsoever. I hand cranked just to make sure it would work, and then I just went slowly and it worked fabulously. Now, the beauty of soft shell fabric, besides the fact that it's windproof, water resistant, and looks amazing, at least this one looks really cool, it is that this one is lined or backed in a fleece fabric. So no need to line your jacket. The lining is included in the fabric, which is huge time saving. As far as tips, other tips for the fabric, so I used a pressing cloth, so I didn't put my iron directly onto the fabric because it's definitely going to leave some marks if you do. It's also the reason why all of your seams get top stitch is it's just easier to make them flat or to make them go flat if you're just top stitching. A lot of these seams, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I didn't even try pressing. I just sewed them and then immediately just top stitched them, and they all turned out really, really well. Even the sleeve is top stitched all around, and the sleeve looks fabulous. Like every single seam is top stitched all around. Oh, and about the top stitching, just another tip. If you're the kind of person like me who buys one small Gutermann spool of thread for your projects, get 2 for this one, because there is a ton of top stitching, and there are quite a few seams on this. There's a facing for the hood, there's a facing at the hem. So yeah, a lot of seams, a lot of top stitching. Get yourself a couple of spools. You won't be sorry you did. All right, so as far as sewing up with soft shell, I have to say, I didn't run into any issues whatsoever. My machine, yeah, stitched right through it. I didn't need a special foot. Yeah, it was just like sewing with any other fabric, super easy. Now, my experience sewing up this jacket. Now, the instructions were for the most part very, very clear. Usually Kinnis's patterns have very clear instructions. They're not necessarily super lengthy. It's not like she holds your hand like a perfect beginner in her patterns, but usually they give you just what you need. This time around, at one or two steps, I was scratching my head because I don't make jackets very often, and some of the illustrations with the steps, I was like, oof, what does this mean? But then I just took a small break, came back to it, reread the instructions, looked at the illustration, and it eventually came to me and it worked just fine. Guys, no unpicking on this jacket at all. So instructions were good. It's just a couple of times I had to stop. Now, this is definitely not an easy or a quick sew. Like I said, lots of top stitching. So you have to be comfortable with top stitching, inserting multiple zippers. So you've got the full length zipper here. You've got the zipper pockets, which those are where, like the zipper pockets is where I scratch my head a little bit with the instructions, because I'd never done a zipper pocket with the seam here. Anyways, some of the steps were like, what am I doing? But so yeah, so this step, the inserting the zipper, putting the lining in, top stitching the facing, finishing the zipper at the top, all of those steps are a little bit harder and maybe not, that may be challenging if you're a complete beginner. But if you consider yourself an intermediate sewist, yeah, you can definitely make this jacket without a problem. Yeah, in terms of construction itself and the pattern and the drafting, perfectly. I mean, all the notches worked. Everything lined up perfectly. Yeah, it was good. It's really, really good. And even you might see in the pictures that like the bottom hem is like perfectly even, and I didn't have to try that hard. I mean, this pattern is drafted so well. Everything just works. The only thing I wasn't crazy about, and you know, had I been a little more experienced, I might have seen it coming, but I didn't. The hood facing and the hem facing, she doesn't tell you to finish them on the serger or whatever. So she only tells you to top stitch them with the zigzag stitch to encase the raw edges. I'm not sure I love that look, but by the time it was time to put this one down and stitch it, it was too late to finish the edges, or it would have been a bit of a pain. It wasn't too late. It would have been a bit of a pain. So I just stitched it down the way she says to in the instructions, but next time I might just finish my pieces after I cut them, just so they're finished at the end. I don't know if it's because she doesn't want extra bulk in there, or she doesn't want the, maybe it's because she doesn't want the serging to show here. I don't know why, but it's basically just raw edges and you zigzag on top of them. Did I make any changes to the pattern? I did not. I didn't adjust anything. I made a size 20, straight size 20 with the double D cup size. Now, in itch to stitch patterns, if I'm going by my measurements, I would start with potentially a 16 at the shoulders, use the double D, and then right away grade to an 18 at the bust, waist, and hips. And because I want to be able to wear bulkier sweaters or even hoodies under this, I sized up to a 20. And I don't know that I would be able to wear anything bulky under this. So if you just want a straightforward jacket with enough ease to move, I would go up a size because, yeah, I mean, the fit is good. I have some room at the bust, and that's probably because I should have moved the bust bubble down a little bit. But yeah, you can see in the pictures in the back, there really isn't a whole lot of extra room in there. So I would definitely size up. That's one thing to keep in mind. Otherwise, the length of the sleeve were perfect for me. I like my sleeves longer on my jackets. I like them to cover at least part of my hand. For me, there's nothing worse when I go, you know, extend my hand and my jacket sleeve is all the way up here. So I love that the sleeves were just perfect. I also like the length. Usually I remove 1 inch from Itch to Stitch patterns at the waist. I didn't do that for this one, and I really like where it's hitting me both in the front and the back. I mean, if I'm gonna go out in the rain with this thing, I want as much of my body as possible to be protected. So there you go. So definitely no room for big layers underneath there. But then again, I might not need them because this fabric is so warm. I might not need that extra layer when I use this jacket. So something to keep in mind. All right, so that is it for my pattern review and my quick tips on sewing this up in a soft shell fabric. I will wear this thing so much. I mean, the sage green is gonna go with so many things in my wardrobe in terms of bottoms. So I can wear this with jeans. I can wear this with work pants that are navy, that are black, that are brown. I mean, this green is almost a neutral. It would look great with pinks. So yeah, it'll fit perfectly in my fall wardrobe and fit perfectly with the color palette I've chosen for my fall wardrobe. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm gonna link up here somewhere to my fall trends video where I talk about my plans for fall. So yeah, this is gonna get used a ton for the next couple of months. It'll come out again in the spring. I'm so happy I can get rid of the damaged, stained, torn, too small for me now jacket that I've been using in a pinch because I had nothing else. And to be completely honest, I enjoyed making this jacket so much, and I like this jacket so much. I'm tempted to order the purple soft shell from Core Fabrics and make myself a second jacket. I just love it that much. So yeah, I would love to know, first of all, have you ever made the Andes jacket? And if you did, what was your experience like? Please leave that in the comments below. If you've never made it, are you tempted to make this jacket now? I would love to know. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please give this video a like if you liked it. Consider subscribing to the channel for more pattern reviews and sewing content, such as this one. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.